Congratulations, kid. You're now part of the EBMUD system.
East Bay what?
MUD. That's short for the East Bay Municipal Utility District. We old-timers just call it the district. You and I just dropped onto their protected watershed lands.
What's a watershed?
Watershed is the word for land that drains snow and rain runoff into a river or a large body of water.
Watershed, like these mountains.
Like these, the Sierra Nevada mountains. Snow melt in the spring and winter rain
Like us.
flows into the McCullum River. The district built this system that supplies healthful McCullum water to more than 1 million people on the east side of San Francisco Bay. Come through the water cycle with me. We'll have some great adventures.
Adventures? All right. Where do we start?
At Lake Pardee, we're flowing into it now. Pardee Reservoir in the gold country of the Sierra foothills is the East Bay's main source of water. It can hold a 10-month supply of water.
What's that thing?
That's Pardee Dam. It stands in a narrow rock canyon and is more than 70 years old.
Wow. How did they build this system?
Back in 1923, the people of Alameda and Contra Costa counties created the East Bay Municipal Utility District. They searched for a reliable source of high-quality drinking water and found it up in the Sierra Nevadas.
Okay, I'm impressed. Now, about those adventures.
We go for it. Down into the lake and into the McCullum aqueducts.
This is a wild ride.
Inside 90 miles of pipeline, downhill to the East Bay. When we get there, we may get used right away. We're already so pure, we don't need much treatment. Water that isn't used is stored in one of 5 reservoirs in the East Bay.
Why do they need more storage here? Isn't Pardee Reservoir enough?
Well, California is usually dry about 7 months out of the year, and most people don't live near their water source. The East Bay is a good example. That's why the district collects Sierra water when there's lots of it and keeps it in these reservoirs to use when needed.
That's like holding water in a bank.
Exactly. East Bay MUD owns and manages 55,000 acres of watershed land surrounding its Pardee and East Bay reservoirs. Fishing, boating, hiking, and picnicking can be enjoyed at 3 of these East Bay lakes. And 80 miles of trails are open to hikers and horseback riders.
What about the animals that live here? Does East Bay MUD care about them?
Native plants and wildlife live safely on these lands. Even migrating birds, the bald eagle and the endangered Aleutian Canada goose, spend winters here.
Man, I am impressed.
Well, don't get settled in. We're about to be called to action.
Hey, where are we going?
We're taking a trip through one of the 6 water treatment plants. We've got to get cleaned up so we can taste our best. The district won't let us go out unless we meet or surpass every government regulation for drinking water.
Looks like a lot of stuff happens here.
It sure does. There can be as few as 3 or as many as 7 treatment steps to prepare us for drinking.
Take me through them.
First, we're sprayed into the air to release trapped gases and add oxygen to improve taste. Coagulants are then added to make dirt particles join together.
Whoa, this is like
Like a whirlpool.
Yeah, a whirlpool.
Big paddles mix everything up to make dirt particles large enough to sink.
Oh boy, that big paddle's coming around again.
Yeah, in sedimentation basins, 85% of the dirt and other organic material sinks to the bottom.
Look out for falling rocks.
Disinfection with the powerful oxidant ozone is the next treatment.
Ozone? Like the gas of the ozone layer?
Yes, the district manufactures ozone at 2 of the treatment plants and uses it to kill germs in the water. Ozone also improves water's taste and odor. Filtration removes any remaining particles. Water at the top of sedimentation basins flows into deep concrete filter beds of granular activated carbon, sand, and gravel.
Oh boy, is that what they call a massage?
It could be. Next, chloramine, which is a combination of chlorine and ammonia, is added for final disinfection at all treatment plants.
Wait a minute. If we had ozone disinfection, Why do we still need chloramines?
Ozone has a very short lifespan. Chloramine doesn't. Chloramine prevents bacteria from forming in the water as it travels through the pipes to people. And with all this sampling and testing, I bet you never felt this clean.
I'm super fresh. So how do I get to the places I'm needed?
The distribution system has 3,900 miles of pipe, 150 pumping plants, and 170 neighborhood reservoirs. District customers use about 220 million gallons of water a day.
All that water is hard to fathom. How does the district manage it?
The entire distribution system is controlled and monitored through a computerized system called OpNet for Operations Network. Operators can move water from one place to another to maintain adequate water service and pressure levels. OpNet signals any changes, alerting staff to trouble spots in the system, such as a water main break or lots of water being used suddenly.
Like to fight a fire.
Operators can respond quickly to emergencies while making sure there's enough water elsewhere for everyone. After all, someone might be brushing his teeth.
Hey, he's got to turn off that tap. Water shouldn't be wasted like that, especially in California.
People are more and more careful about how they use water.
Well, I'm glad EBMUD is really strong on conservation and water quality.
People can go to EBMUD for conservation information, water-saving devices, and helpful advice about how to have nice yards and landscaping without using a lot of water.
Good. Water is life, you know.
People can save water in a lot of ways. The district is always ready to help. And hey, no reason water should not be enjoyed.
I could make a nice splash here.
Forget it. We're in for something special.
Now this is why water quality is so important. Hey, what's happening?
Hold on. We're going for another ride.
To San Francisco Bay?
Not yet. We're wastewater now. We need cleaning up again. We're going through EBMUD's wastewater treatment system to make sure we don't take anything into the bay that would pollute it.
Sure, the pit's down in the sewer. It's totally gross, and I'm really dirty.
Don't worry. We're in primary treatment, where first we're exposed to sodium hypochlorite to remove odors.
Gee, that word would scare all the odor off me.
Next, large objects, floating oil, and grease are screened off.
Oh man, it feels great to get this gunk off.
Sand, silt, and anything heavier than water sinks to the bottom of sedimentation tanks as sludge.
Ooh, I'm feeling better already. Boy, moving around like this is making the dirt fall off to the bottom.
In secondary treatment, organic and chemical impurities are removed biologically by high-purity oxygen-activated sludge and sludge digestion.
Digestion? You mean this stuff gets eaten?
Well, yes, sort of. It's a biological process. Good germs digest sludge in the way it would biodegrade in nature.
Then why not just let the bay do it?
No. Pollutants attached to us would use up too much oxygen in the bay water and spoil the marine ecology. It would harm wildlife and make the bay awful for people too. EBMUD's wastewater treatment plant protects San Francisco Bay.
I guess that means that we hang out in these ponds and tanks for a while.
You got it, kid. We stay here until we pass tough public health and environmental standards to be sure we are safe for re-entering the natural environment.
I'm gonna pass.
Oh yeah, we're looking so good we might get into the wastewater reclamation program.
What's that?
It's a program for reusing wastewater or recycled water, for watering golf courses and freeway landscaping, for cleaning equipment and cooling industrial processes.
I get it. That way they can conserve more of their drinking water supply.
You know, you're pretty smart. The district is always looking for better ways of doing things. For instance, they use the stabilized sludge or biosolids left after cleaning wastewater to enrich soils on agricultural lands. Almost all of this sludge is used to grow cotton in California's agricultural regions.
What's going on in here?
That's the district's power generation station. Methane gas, which is produced by the digestion process, is used to generate up to 60% of the energy needed to operate the plant. And that's not all. Their source control program requires industry to pre-treat its wastewater to remove heavy metals, chemicals, and other poisonous pollutants before they enter the sewage system. They've already reduced pollutant discharge into the bay by 98%.
Does anybody else know about this?
Oh, yeah. EBMUD is the only agency to receive the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's National Wastewater Excellence Award 3 times. And they continue to work with industry to cut down on waste chemicals.
That's so cool. And anybody could help just by being careful of how they get rid of old paints, motor oil, antifreeze, and other household chemical products and hazardous materials.
You bet. Everybody can be a partner in San Francisco Bay Protection, and the district can advise them on how to help.
Look, there it is, the bay. Hey, thanks. I had a great trip. I'd like to cycle through the East Bay mud again if I get a chance.
Oh, you would, huh?
Sure. Flowing down beautiful Sierra Nevada mountains and taking that water slide ride to the East Bay was fantastic. I wouldn't mind a vacation in the East Bay Reservoir either. And that treatment was a great workout. I was ready for anything. After going through the wastewater system, I know I was doing my part for San Francisco Bay.
I know what you mean, kid. Well, take it easy. Maybe I'll catch you around next time.